The one sort of thing in describing the prequels and everything, it's not as good as what some people say, and it's not as bad as what other people say.
This is comedian and podcaster Steele Saunders.
It's also understanding that people like and dislike things in different ways. So it's sort of like, I don't know, kind of like an important lesson for the rest of your life sort of thing is how people deal with these films. It's just like, I've got my opinion and I can accept other people's, and don't be a dick about it.
It's been over a year since we released the Prequels Strike Back. Since then, 2 Star Wars movies have released, and a whole lot has changed in the Star Wars community. I wanted to know if opinions on the prequels had changed over this time. So to do this, I reached out to Steele, whose podcast, SteeleWars, is an important part of the Star Wars fandom.
Like the thing about the movie and the thing about Star Wars fandom is that it's a really interesting, microcosm of how like all humans relate to each other with differing opinions. And we get so defensive of the things that we love. It's just interesting the way we deal not only with people not liking the things that we like, but then on the flip side, like in the fandom, people liking stuff that we don't. And like some people have a lot of trouble dealing with that emotionally, and they need to write a lot about it on the internet, it seems.
This hate is nothing new for people in the Star Wars community, especially prequels fans. And now, many in the prequel generation find themselves in a similar position with the sequel trilogy, as the original trilogy generation did with the prequels.
When you've got people starting up groups, these anti-Disney groups and stuff that are like, let's ruin the films for people that like it. Like there's Facebook groups or whatever that, they plan on like spoiling the film, like in those few days where there's spoilers out there before the film comes on wide release. It's focused on what you enjoy. And, I think it's part of the fun of being a Star Wars fan. It's positive negativity. Like I'll watch something in Star Wars, like maybe like something in Rebels or, a scene in the movie where I don't like it, and I can talk about what I don't like about it, but I can do it it's like fun. It's sort of almost, you're making fun of your own dislike way. Do you know what I mean? Like you can do it in a positive way rather than this like really negative, angry sort of thing. Like, I'm sure, and it came up in the documentary a lot of times about the sand comment.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating.
With Anakin and Padme, and he's rubbing her and all that, and it's like, I don't like sand. Like, and people always ask me like, what would you change and stuff? Oh, you change the sand thing? It's like, nah, dog. That is the one line I would never take out of Star Wars, because it's brought so much joy. Like it's like, I don't think it's good, but like we can celebrate how fun it is.
All right. Well, and final question, because I know everybody out there wanted me to ask it, and I would be remiss if I didn't. What are your thoughts on sand?
It's not very smooth.
And I thought it was really cool at Celebration in Orlando that someone I met, this girl Spike, got like a jar of sand signed by Hayden Christensen, and he thought it was really funny. And I don't know, it's just a funny part of Star Wars pop culture now. And there's crazy lines in all the film. And it is fascinating to watch the original trilogy and try to watch it with like the eyes of like an adult rather than the accepting eyes of like a 6-year-old boy.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
And it's also the thing of there's no film's perfect. Like I watched The Force Awakens, and in the second half there's lines and things that happen that I'm just like, why? Why is this in here?
I am afraid not. R2-D2 has been in low power mode ever since Master Luke went away.
If we all agreed on the prequels, like then, I don't know, it's sort of made for such interesting conversation over the years. And I know for a lot of people it was like frustrating conversation, but it's sort of fun that people disagree at the same time. And it's fun to find out why. Do you know what I mean? And I always find it very interesting talking to so many people about it, what people let slide and then what people get hung up on. Like for me, the C-3PO head changing thing is just, it's so offensive on multiple levels. Like from a comedy level, from a trying to get a PC to work with a Mac level. But it's interesting what people take and what they like and don't like.
A great example of this comes with the recent internet phenomenon known as prequel memes. I wanted to know what Steele thought of prequel memes and what we should expect from them.
When it comes to prequel memes, my initial feeling is jealousy because so many of them are so funny and just such like awesome little like quotes out of context. I didn't take them ever that they were some sort of slight. It was more of a celebration. You know, there's that old, like in comedy, like the comedy roasts and stuff. And the saying is we only roast the ones we love. And that's what I sort of take it as, is that we love this thing. There's weird things that are said in the movie. And a lot of them are also just taking tropes from memes that are non-Star Wars memes and you know, plugging that into like a Star Wars context. But yeah, I'd be shocked to find it was like malicious in some way.
In fact, Steele thinks there's been a change in the way we think about the prequels, and that trend will continue.
I think the prequels now, I definitely think the next 10 years they're going to be treated, you know, by fans and by, you know, Lucasfilm and Disney better than they have for the last 10 years. But then again, you had like the Clone Wars cartoon and stuff like that. But me personally, like I'm sort of more about them now than I was maybe 5 years ago. And also letting go of things that frustrated me about them and just enjoying the bits that I like.
There's a certain wisdom in focusing on what you enjoy. French film theorist and father of modern film criticism André Bazin thought critics should only analyze films they enjoy. That concept has never been more foreign than now, where the internet rewards negative criticism. Perhaps it's time for us to take Luke's advice to his father.
I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
It is too late for me, son.
It might have been too late for Vader, but maybe it isn't for us.
I think now is the most agreeable time in Star Wars fandom.
Like, doesn't that say a lot?